This Friday, live on Channel 5 for an IBO Light Heavyweight World title, Lyndon Arthur against Brian Suarez goes down in a huge fight, and one man that knows all about huge fights joins us both on the line now. Roy Jones, Lyndon Arthur, very good afternoon to you both. Lyndon, start with yourself. It's fight week. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling ready to fight. I can't wait. I'm excited. Obviously, it's the last few days now, preparation. Training's tapered down obviously a lot, and we just got to weigh in now and then get the job done.
Roy, this is language that you know all so well as a boxer and then as a coach. You can sympathise, I'm sure, with Lyndon in the tapering down and making sure you stay on weight.
Of course, this is the hardest time for you because you have to hold everything in check right now. You got to hold your weight in check. You got to hold your mental fight in check. You got to hold everything in check. Your attitude, everything has to be in check right now because you're edgy because you're making weight, but you got to make sure you make it and make sure you stay calm.
Absolutely. Let's jump straight into the fight itself. Lyndon, start with yourself. Brian Suarez was a fight that you were supposed to have a few months ago. It fell through at the last minute with an issue on Suarez's side. You had to fight a stepping opponent in a fight that you said yourself wasn't the thriller that you wanted it to have been, given the last minute opponent change. How excited are you to now finally get in with Brian Suarez?
It's not. I'm not so much excited to. Not that I'm not excited to fight him. It's just to actually get the fight over the line for the belt, and actually be able to win something when you win this time. There'll be no pulling out. Not that Suarez pulled out, but there'll be no changes and everything goes perfectly smoothly. So me and him will be able to get in the ring and put on a good fight.
Roy, when you were building up to the first fight of your career with a world title there within touchable distance, does it feel any different to a normal fight? Do you allow yourself to think past the opponent and have a look at the hardware at the end, or do you have to just stay focused?
Well, you have to stay focused, but it's definitely different than any other thing because this is record. I mean, it's like milestone setting. It's like you reach a milestone that every professional fighter wants to become a world champion or a champion of some kind. So when a belt is on the line, it's a milestone. Even when I fought for the WBC Continental America belt, that was a milestone. That fight meant something different than any fight I had until that point because the belt was on the line.
How about you, Lyndon? Does it feel different? Does it feel like Roy says? Is it a milestone moment?
Yeah, you kind of it's like you have let's say a to-do list in boxing and things you want to check off. Ready, so this now is I guess the next step in my to-do list.
I don't want to put you on the spot, Lyndon, but just talk to me about Roy Jones for a minute, because I'm going to ask Roy about your potential in a moment. But what was it like for you watching? I mean, I can speak from my personal experience, staying up late to watch Roy Jones fights, and I've told Roy this a few times now, so I'm comfortable saying it. But what was it like for you? What's your history or experience of watching Roy Jones Jr.?
Yeah, Roy was one of the boxers that I watched mostly when I started. Obviously, I started boxing late, but when I fully got into it, he was one of the boxers that I watched a lot of the time, and I've probably watched most of his fights, everything that you can get on the internet to watch anyway. And there's obviously these things you try do in the ring. When you watch him, it's not, you obviously don't come off the stage, but you try your hardest to get the hooks in and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it was good. That's why I like the fact that you've come on and you give the conversation to even speak to me right now. So it's a pleasure, really.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And for me, it means the world to that you guys. I try to give you guys something to watch and something to reach for. That means like every time I fought, I want to perform for everybody else, not just me. I gave the world what God put through me to give to you guys so that you guys can be inspired by it. And I always have something that y'all can learn, something y'all can reach for. You feel me? That's why boxing is so important to me. I feel like I was an instrument that God played his music through. Like when I saw Ali, I saw potential to take that and see could I do anything better or do anything different with it to make it better. And that's what I try to do. So I try to give you guys something that y'all can start taking bits and pieces and figure out how to make it even better. So that was my goal in boxing. So I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's exactly what you've done. That's exactly what you did for me. Like the flashy, flamboyant show off kind of thing with the boxing is the kind of thing that I kind of took to when I was amateur and when I was first starting. So yeah, like I said, it was always exciting and always fun watching.
And what people don't understand about me is that when you fight, people are giving you their undivided attention. You have to give them something to make them want to come back and give you their undivided attention again. If you don't give them something like that, then they're not going to watch you again. You're just another fighter. They can watch that anywhere. But when you give them something that they're not seeing, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I guess one thing, this is something that I always took away, specifically from Roy fights, other fighters as well, but specifically from Roy fights, is like you talk about the flashy, flamboyant side of things. Whereas that's a joy to watch and it's fun and everything. To learn from Roy, it wasn't just how to throw certain combinations and move in that sort of manner. It's how to hold the peace of mind down, how to stay calm, as Roy says, when there's so many people giving you that undivided attention. You've got to stay in the right frame of mind to know that you have the muscle memory, if you like, to move and throw that combination in that style that no one else has seen before. Roy, for you, was it all about peace of mind as well as knowing your trade in the ring?
Well, it's about peace of mind, but peace of mind comes from repetition. You do it over and over and over and over again till you know it's embedded. Once it gets embedded, that's one thing my dad did do good about me. He embedded it. Once it's embedded, now it's just a matter of knowing that you got peace of mind and let God take that peace of mind and take away what wants to go with it. Because if you stay calm, you can hear anything God gives you. If you get erratic, you can't hear nothing that God gives you or anybody else.
Lyndon's style is obviously different. He's made up and manifested his own style. Lyndon's, I think, most well known. I hope you don't mind me saying, Lyndon, for a good jab, a really solid, works off a really piston-like jab. Just how important is that jab? You know, everyone knows the saying about a good jab taking you around the world, but just how important is that to have that in your arsenal, to master, I can jab you for 12 rounds if I need to?
Yeah, but if you can beat a guy with just a jab, you really understand what boxing is about. Because this is where people make mistakes at. You can beat a guy with a jab, why would you do anything else? Why would you worry about hitting him with anything else? Because if you can hit him with a jab, you can hit him with anything, but you don't have to worry about it because you can beat him with the jab. So when you want to hit him with something else, you can. But if you can't touch him, you can't hit him.
Is that a fair comment, Lyndon, to say that the game plan for Lyndon, maybe not giving too much away for Brian Suarez, but having watched your previous fights, the Lyndon Arthur jab is probably one of the strongest in the division at the moment.
Yeah. And if he got a good jab, that's going to set up everything for him, because the first thing people have to do is learn how to negate his jab. If they can't negate his jab, then why are you showing anything else? Because people down the line are watching you. That's why I used to try to make sure I watch guys and I only use what was necessary to beat him in that particular fight, because if I use more, then I show these guys too much. So I didn't want to show them no more than I need. So if you look at Pazienza, he was shorter than me. I know my jab would be very effective against him. That was the first time they ever seen me basically predominantly use my jab until I got him in a position that I could take him out. You understand me? But I had to use that jab because he was the perfect opponent for the jab. So when I talk about fighters and fights like the Errol Spence-Terence Crawford fight, what I told him was that Earl never had to use his tools. He only had to fight one way. If you don't have to use your tools get rusted. So that jab is the most effective tool you got. You can use all your tools off of that jab. So if you start with a good jab, that's perfect. That keeps you busy.
How is that jab looking, Lyndon?
Sharp as always. Sharp as hell as always. The tools stay sharp and the tools stay busy. And my left hand will be pumping on Friday.
There it is.
Right, just with Lyndon on the call, what do you make of the state of the light heavyweight division at the moment? We've said about how busy it is, but what do you think?
I think it's in a very beautiful place right now. With Beterbiev and Bivol being the kingpins of the division. Beterbiev is 38 years old, so he's getting older. Somebody got to go make a move and try to take that title. I think Bivol still be around for a minute, but if you beat Beterbiev, then whoever you are is automatically a big match against Bivol, because Bivol beat Canelo. Everybody wants to see Bivol be challenged again. And we don't think Canelo can challenge him, but we want to see him challenged again. So whoever, if it's not Beterbiev, then whoever can beat Beterbiev, we want to see it. So the door's wide open.
What do you think, Lyndon? If you take this win on Friday, is the doorway open to those kind of fights and becoming the kingpin yourself?
I believe that it definitely gives me a foot in the door or bargaining to go forward with into negotiations and stuff like that. Them big fights and like Roy said, the Beterbiev's getting on a bit. A lot of people are waiting for him to get old overnight. And if you're going to beat Beterbiev, I think the time is now or in the near future. So, these things excite me. So I'm excited for the future to see what happens.
Have you trained with any of these guys before?
I've sparred Beterbiev, yeah.
Am I allowed to ask?
It was good. It was good. I held I definitely held my own. And like I said, I'm excited for the future. So them fights and not something I would turn down.
Roy, just to begin to draw this to a close, what advice would you give to Lyndon now with building up to fight week, but then beyond that, should he be successful on Friday?
Well, building up the fight week, you just focus on the fight you got at hand right now. Don't worry about nothing else. Forget about everybody we talked about. Just worry about the guy you're fighting right now, because if you don't beat this guy, none of the other stuff matters anyway. So take care of the business at hand. After you finish the business at hand, then you go look at the landscape and see what's best for you next. But always focus on the business at hand first. Never look past your opponent.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Roy, before we let you go, an international man of mystery that you are, it looks like you're on the move somewhere at the moment. Where will you be watching this fight on Friday?
I'll watch it at home. I'm headed back home now. I just dropped my son off at college out here in Dallas. So he's in McAllen, Dallas. He's finally playing Division I basketball. Got him a Division I school. So I'm so happy about that. We're headed back home now. I have Jamal Charlo is at home awaiting me because I got to start training him when I get back. So that's a very exciting thing too. And it's just, life is always good.
Brilliant. Well, Lyndon Arthur has got it all to do on Friday night, but the reward, as you rightly say, Roy, is there for the taking. Roy Jones, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Lyndon. Good luck to you. Okay, Lyndon, good luck to you, brother. Well, do your thing. Show them who you are. Show what you made of. Have fun. Enjoy yourself every night. All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, brother.
Thank you.
All right.
Lyndon, thank you. We wish you all the best for Friday, fellas. Thank you very much. Channel 5,
no problem.
Friday, live. Lyndon Arthur goes for the IBO Light Heavyweight Champion of the World against Brian Suarez. You can't miss this.